The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site. The United States owning that piece of land, developing and creating thousands of jobs with something that will be magnificent in a really magnificent area that nobody would know. Nobody can look. Just a terrible sight. I've studied this very closely over a lot of months, and I've seen it from every different angle, and it's a very, very dangerous place to be, and it's only going to get worse. Gaza is a hellhole right now. It was before the bombing started, frankly. The horrors of October 7th would never have happened if I were president. Very hard to stop it. Yeah, please, go ahead. Go ahead, please. Kelly, go ahead.
You are talking tonight about the United States taking over a sovereign territory. What authority would allow you to do that? Are you talking about a permanent occupation there? Redevelopment?
I do see a long-term ownership position, and I see it bringing great stability to that part of the Middle East and maybe the entire Middle East. And everybody I've spoken to, this was not a decision made lightly. Caitlin, go ahead.
On what you were saying there.
Say it. Go ahead, please.
Just to follow up on what you were saying about the Gazans leaving Gaza, going to other countries. One, where exactly are you suggesting that they should go? And two, are you saying they should return after it's rebuilt? And if not, who do you envision living there?
I envision the world, people living there, the world's people. I think you'll make that into an international, unbelievable place. I think the potential in the Gaza Strip is unbelievable. And I think the entire world, representatives from all over the world will be there, and they'll live there. Palestinians also. Palestinians will live there. And I don't want to be cute. I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be, they're living in hell. And those people will now be able to live in peace. We'll make sure that it's done world class. It'll be wonderful for the people. Palestinians mostly we're talking about. And I have a feeling that despite them saying no, I have a feeling that the king in Jordan and that the general president, but that the general in Egypt will open their heart.
Does that mean that you do not support a two-state solution?
It doesn't mean anything about a two-state or one state or any other state. It means that we want to give people a chance at life.
You are the greatest friend Israel has ever had in the White House. You withdrew from the disastrous Iran nuclear deal. I remember we spoke about it. You said, this is the worst deal I've ever seen. I'm elected, I'm walking out of it. That's exactly what you did. Now in the first days of your second term, you picked up right where you left off. Your leadership helped bring our hostages home. You freed up munitions that have been withheld from Israel. You ended unjust sanctions against law-abiding Israeli citizens. And today, you renewed the maximum pressure campaign against Iran. Ladies and gentlemen, all this in just 2 weeks. Can we imagine where we'll be in 4 years? You cut to the chase. You see things others refuse to see. You say things others refuse to say. And after the jaws drop, people scratch their heads and they say, you know, he's right. They tried to kill you, Mr. President. They tried through their proxies to kill me. We're both committed to rolling back Iran's aggression in the region and ensuring that Iran never develops a nuclear weapon.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, we have the right to do that. With me, it's very simple. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. We don't want to be tough on Iran. We don't want to be tough on anybody, but they just can't have a nuclear weapon.
Mr. President, and their proxies who have threatened to retaliate against you and your team by killing you guys for taking out Soleimani.
If they did that, they would be obliterated. That'd be the end. I've left instructions. If they do it, they get obliterated. There won't be anything left. China's running the Panama Canal, but they violated the agreement, and we're going to take it back or something very powerful is going to happen.
中巴两国在共建“一带一路”框架下的合作正常开展，并不断取得丰硕成果。希望有关方面坚定信心，不要受到外来干扰，从双边关系大局和两国人民的长远利益出发，做出正确决策。
Yo no siento que haya ninguna amenaza en este momento real contra el tratado, la vigencia y mucho menos de uso de fuerza militar para apoderarse del canal. No sentí para nada un clima de controversia ni un clima de irrespeto en lo absoluto. Al contrario, sentí un clima muy proactivo de parte y parte y sobre todo muy dispuesto a solventar las preguntas o las dudas que pueda haber. 中巴两国在共建“一带一路”框架下的合作正常开展，并不断取得丰硕成果。希望有关方面坚定信心，不要受到外来干扰，从双边关系大局和两国人民的长远利益出发，做出正确决策。巴拿马是国际投资的汇聚之地，历来以良好的法治和透明的营商环境闻名于世。 相信会为包括中国香港特区企业在内的各国、各地区企业提供公平、公正的环境。
So I say, why are we doing this? Why are we willing to lose between $100 billion and $200 billion a year?
Is there any chance that Canada or China could also get out of the tariffs after you start to deal with Mexico?
Well, nobody's out with Mexico. We had a great talk with Mexico. She did agree to 10,000 soldiers on the border. I would say that's a lot. Would you say that's pretty good? 10,000 soldiers on the border? And the 10,000 soldiers are going to keep illegal aliens out, and they're going to keep them out, seriously out, and otherwise they're going to have a big penalty. Mexico's going to be penalized. They're not going to come through Mexico anymore, and they're not going to let the fentanyl come in from China. And China hopefully is going to stop sending us fentanyl, and if they're not, the tariffs are going to go substantially. Now, we had another big thing, speaking of China. China's involved with the Panama Canal. They won't be for long, and that's the way it has to be. We either want it back, or we're going to get something very strong, or we're going to take it back.
President Trump stated still committed to placing tariffs on Canada.
I also spoke with Prime Minister Trudeau of Canada, but for some reason, a lot of things have been very unfair with Canada. I noticed that in the first term. You deal with people, and after a while, you begin to realize Canada is very tough. They're very, very tough to do business with, and we can't let them take advantage of the U.S. You didn't know all of these different things, and I think in the end, you're going to see that either very, very substantial tariffs are going to be paid by them, or they're going to make some kind of a deal.
On Canada, when you talk to Justin Trudeau again, is there anything he can give you at 3 p.m. when you talk again to also
I don't know.
pause,
I don't know.
like you said with Mexico?
I don't know. We have big deficits with Canada, like we do with all countries. I mean, I look at some of the deals made, I say, who the hell made these deals? They're so bad. What I'd like to see, Canada become our 51st state. Why are we doing this? Why are we willing to lose between $100 billion and $200 billion a year? We don't need them. As a state, it's different. As a state, it's much different. And there are no tariffs. So I'd love to see that, but some people say that would be a long shot. If people wanted to play the game right, it would be 100% certain that they'd become a state. The pain would be really theirs.
How did the college go, though? Are you still doing the tariffs? Are you still doing the tariffs tonight? He said watch.
Mr. President, you said you also want to impose tariffs on the EU.
Well, we have massive deficits with the European Union, massive, like $350 billion, if you can believe it. So the European has abused the United States for years, and they can't do that. All we want is a fair deal. And you know, there's a word reciprocal. I'd go right now, reciprocal tariffs on everybody. And one of the problems we have with the Russia-Ukraine situation is that we want to see some equalization, because we're in for close to $300 billion and they're in for $200 billion less. Why are they in for less? Because Biden never asked them for money. He never said, you got to pay. He never did. All he did is hand out money. They have very valuable rare earth. We want what we put up to go in terms of a guarantee. We want a guarantee. We're handing them money hand over fist. We're giving them equipment. European is not keeping up with us. They should equalize. And look, we have an ocean in between. They don't. It's more important for them than it is for us. Well, they should really be paying much more than us, but let's say equal to us, and they're billions and billions of dollars below. So we're looking to do a deal with Ukraine where they're going to secure what we're giving them with their rare earth and other things.
And a criticism for Mr. Murdoch's own newspaper. He called it the dumbest trade war on the editorial page on Saturday.
I'm going to have to talk to him about it.
This market reaction or concern about?
No, it's not only is it not dumb, you're going to see. Every single one of those countries is dying to make a deal. You know why? Because they're ripping us off really badly. And the United States is tired of just being ripped off. And that's why we have $36 trillion in debt. We have it for a reason, because we make bad deals with everybody. And we don't allow that anymore.